Hey there, welcome back. Today I want to talk about how to start an email list from scratch in 2023. When it comes to marketing, so many yoga teachers and coaches are getting it wrong. They are so focused on social media, posting on Instagram every single day. But the problem is here you have no control. When you're only focused on growing your followers, you're building your business on borrowed land. So you don't own the followers after all, right? The social media platforms, they control the platform. You're not in control of their changes, any shifts that are happening, or the experiences people are offered. So people also still use email every single day for work and for their personal use. And while a lot of people are becoming more jaded and tired of social media, like social media breaks are getting more and more common, or people just leave the platforms altogether. Email is never going to go away. When someone signs up for your email list, you know that they really want to hear from you, right? So they really are interested in you and your offers. So you still want to show up on social media. I'm not saying that you don't use social media, but you don't want to focus solely on social media. Use it in addition to getting people to subscribe to your email list. So let's dive into all things starting your email list from scratch in 2023. Step number one, choose the right email marketing provider to grow. You want to have an email marketing provider that offers you features to grow. So this is why I recommend ConvertKit. I think MailChimp got so complicated. I really don't know any serious entrepreneur who's recommending MailChimp. I started out there too, right, years ago, but I switched to ConvertKit, I think, in 2016. I love it. It's so easy to use. It's so intuitive to use. And they have really great features like setting up sequences and tagging and segmenting that you want when you really want to grow your email list. So for example, using a welcome email sequence that you send out to new subscribers automatically. So everybody who signs up to your email list gets added to that email sequence, and it's a bunch of emails that you set up with your best content. You can simply use some of your emails that have been really popular in the past. You can introduce your offer, how to work with you, and that every new subscriber gets that automatically. And otherwise they never see like really great emails that you send out in the past. So add them to an email sequence. This is something you can really set up super easy in ConvertKit. You need to be on the paid plan for that, and it starts at $9 per month. You pay annually. And then it goes up depending on the size of your email list, right? So this is really what I recommend. Also, I think you need to switch to the paid plan definitely when you are selling digital offers. It's just time. If you're sending out emails to invite people to an online course, for example, you definitely want to set it up so that you can exclude people who already purchased. If they don't need a bunch of other emails. This is your last chance to get like the early bird discount after they've already purchased. Or even when you sell things like, for example, yoga retreats, and you have like a last spot to fill and you want to offer a last chance discount, you can exclude people who already signed up. And for things like that, you need to invest a little bit in a tool. There's no other way around it. I highly recommend it. I think it's going to profit your business here. This is really an expense that's going to help you grow. So the right email marketing provider, definitely necessary. Number two, make it as easy as possible for people to sign up. People have the attention spans of fruit flies, right? So if you only mention your newsletter or a freebie that you created like once or twice, maybe you shared it like once to your list and then a few times on social media, that's not enough. You want to really there's so much noise right? So in this world, there's so much content. You have to show up repeatedly. You have to repeat the message. People sometimes really need to see something, I think, between 4 and 7 times before they take action, before they actually sign up to that thing. So what I like to do is offer a few different ways to sign up on my website. So for example, in the footer, there's a link to my newsletter. Then I have on my homepage a box, sign up for my newsletter. Then I have an info bar at the top. Then maybe use a pop-up as well. I know they're annoying, but they really, really work, right? So really repeat yourself, add a few options for people to sign up. When you just have a pop-up, I don't think that's really good, because a lot of people close a pop-up before they even read it, before they even check out what's offered here, right? They just close it. And when you don't have another option for people to sign up to your freebie or for your newsletter, they're never going to see it again. So add a few options. Right. So in the sidebar of your blog, in your blog post, add it as a text link as well. I would create a landing page for every freebie and also for your newsletter. You don't want to tell people, to sign up to my newsletter, you go to my homepage and you scroll down a little bit, or you wait for that pop-up to show up, because nobody's going to do that. Make it as simple as possible for people to sign up. So add multiple ways for people to sign up to your email list. Number 3, create a freebie and then share it again and again. Don't stop talking about it, right? For freebies, I think people are a little bit tired of the same old they see everywhere, which is normal, I guess, right? So back in 2016, a freebie was still a little bit more special and unexpected. So I know from my business, I definitely had super high conversion rates back then for some freebies for yoga teachers that I created. Well, now you've probably seen freebies all over the place, all over the internet. Try to come up with something that's a little bit more interesting. Don't be boring. Don't just say sign up for my newsletter. So anything actually that you create is better. And you can keep it really simple. I don't like my students to use creating their freebie basically as an excuse to start creating their paid offers, because that can happen, that you spend weeks and weeks creating a freebie. No, it shouldn't take weeks and weeks. It should take a day max. And then focus on your paid offer. And then later on, when you have some extra time, you can start on a more elaborate freebie. But especially when it's your first freebie, create something really simple, right? That's still really valuable and helpful for people. Maybe a quick win. It can be a checklist. It can be just 3 recipes. It can be a yin yoga sequence that they can print out. It can be a tracker for their yoga practice. It can be a free yoga video. Though here, I think actually just a free training that goes a little bit deeper is probably more interesting. So your freebie doesn't have to be, or shouldn't be, the same then compared to all the other free content that you share. So for example, my freebie is not like a podcast episode or a video that I record now as part of my weekly content. I wouldn't use that to create a freebie. I have freebies that's like the ultimate online course starter kit. I put some effort in there. That's like a 17 pages PDF. You can get it when you go to susannereicher.com/starter kit. I have a free training that I actually recorded live, and then I think I re-recorded it and to use it as a freebie. So a free training is really amazing when maybe you have a special workshop that you've done in the past, and you can simply leverage the recording and make that a freebie. Maybe you've done a free challenge that you used for a launch in the past. You can use that and make it a freebie, right? So before you really invest tons and tons and tons of work creating your freebie, think about what you can leverage. And then spend some time really making it attractive, like working on your title, on the name of your freebie, on the description, on the results that it's going to give people. That's really, that's probably what's making the biggest difference, and why people don't sign up to your email list might just be how you sell the freebie and not the quality of the freebie. Actually, when you already have a freebie and you realize things are going really slow, right? It's not really helping you grow your email list. It's very common. So there are a few things to look at there. The first is, how much traffic do you have? How many people actually see your freebie? And when you use Google Analytics, for example, you can go in there and look at how many page views your freebie landing page has got, right? So you should have a freebie landing page so you can actually track that. And then when let's say you have only 40 people visited that page and just one person signed up, that's actually a normal conversion rate probably, right? So that should be a little bit higher. But that's really what you want to track. And it could be like 20% conversion rate. Some freebies I have higher conversion rates. Some freebies I have a lot lower conversion rates. When you're using ConvertKit, you actually see that conversion rate as well in the list with all your forms. It gives you that. When you have a pop-up, normally your conversion rate is really, really low, like 1%, because so many people see it. And of course, most people simply close it. When it's a landing page, normally the conversion rate can be something between 15 and 25 or 30% or even higher. And here really depends how warm your traffic is that you direct to that freebie, and how interesting it is for them, how much it really solves or addresses a pain point they're having. And yeah, so that's like the first thing to track, really how many people see it, and then the conversion rate. And when you actually get a lot of traffic and your conversion rate is really, really low, yeah, so you think about, okay, what can you do to increase that? So test things out, test like a different headline, test like a little different description, update your landing page. Try that. When you really have very little traffic on that page, your job is to get more people to see it. So you need to share your freebie more. You need to talk about it more. You need to talk about it nonstop. Don't be shy here. Really share it as much as you can. A great way also to grow your list is to share it to get on other people's podcasts, for example, and ask if you can share your freebie at the end, or to write a guest blog post and ask if you can share your freebie at the end. If it relates to that content, people will normally say yes, right? So let's say you have a podcast where you talk about the benefits about meditation, and then you tell the host, so you're a guest on her podcast, and you say, oh, by the way, I also have this free meditation guide with 3 different meditations, so people can try out what works for them. Is it possible to share that? And they probably will say yes, because it's really valuable and it adds, to the listeners of their podcast. So that's a way to also get more traffic, and then hopefully more signups for your email list. The point is really, generating traffic is a lot of work for everybody. Nothing we can do about it. You just have to do it. There's no magic behind it. It comes down to those things. It's either messaging or a traffic problem, normally. So work on that. Okay, so you have your freebie. That's number 3. And number 4 is to creating long form content. So like a blog or a podcast or YouTube videos. When you create like a podcast or YouTube videos, what I want you to do is also create a blog post for every video or episode and host that on your website. You want to have your best content on your website because you own your website, right? So that's your hub. That's like, just imagine your store, right? A shop. So you want all your best content. It's like your shopping window, basically, your homepage. You want people to step in and then learn more about your paid offers. And that's where free content comes in. Long form content, especially blog posts or YouTube videos, it lives on. It's not like a social media post that disappears after a few days. It lives on. People still find me through blog posts that I published in 2017, 2018. And that's amazing, right? So you just like have that, it's a little bit of work one time, and then you're going to benefit from it for years to come. Yes, the same applies to YouTube videos. I know people who really still get a lot of traffic from YouTube videos that they published 5 years ago. And nobody's going to look at an Instagram post from 5 years ago. So that long form content is how you build your legacy, how you make your business more resilient as well against changes, against all those social media woo-woo that's always happening, algorithm changes, platforms that close, or what else. Because that's really, you build up a content library that's going to serve you for years and years to come. So this is more of a midterm to long-term strategies. You're not going to see results from Google overnight, but it's going to happen. Again, there's no magic behind it. It's the consistency of showing up and sharing that's going to make the difference. It's also, establishing yourself as the expert, building trust with your audience, all those things. And of course, when people find a blog post, it means adding a blog post, if possible, every single week, that adds a new page that Google can look for that can get found on Google. So people can find your website and visit your website. When you have a normal website without a blog, maybe you have 8 content pages, right? That's not a lot for Google to track and for people to find. Really, if you want to have more traffic on your website, the best thing you can do is create long-form content, learn a little bit about SEO, so you have great titles. What are people really searching for? And you don't need an expert there. You don't need to hire one of those SEO experts, especially not those people who cold email you. I would never do that. If they're good, they don't have to cold email you, right? And it takes a little bit of time. But this is how you build really a resilient business. Absolutely necessary. And that's how you get more traffic to your freebies and then to grow your email list. So when you have a blog post, so for example, again, with my example, meditation, and then you have a freebie that is the next step for people to take. So when people found that blog post on Google, for example, on Pinterest, and they find it interesting, it really helps them. And then you have a freebie that's oh, this is actually the next step. They're going to sign up for it, right? So here you have really high conversion rate when it's really related. So that's why a blog or long form content, I think it's so necessary if you're really serious about growing your email list. And number 5, the final step to grow your email list from scratch is testing. Test everything, test different headlines. When you have a pop-up, test different images, test different messages, headings, really try to optimize things. Block 2 hours every Friday to track your numbers, how many people actually saw your forms, what are your conversion rates, and then just test it, change it, and then compare it to the week before. That's the secret really to grow your email list. So I hope that was helpful and a little bit inspiring to get back to list building. I know it's really easy to put it on the back burner in your business, but I promise the long-term results are what's going to make it worth your time. Thanks so much for being here, and I talk to you soon.